Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be going through the unread books on my physical TBR. So, one of my goals last year was to get my physical TBR down to 15. Well, it was actually 10 to 15, and let's just say, I failed. I haven't failed that badly. Actually, no. I was gonna say I haven't failed that badly, but I still have more presents to come from Christmas, so it's gonna be a bad fail. I definitely don't have as big a TBR as some people do. I'm not going to go into detail on all of these because that's still a lot of books and it'll make the video way too long, but I might give you like 1 or 2 lines about what I know or where I got them from or something like that, but I'm not going to be giving you a full synopsis. So let's start with the YA books. So I have Kingsbane and Lightbringer by Claire Legrand. This anyways, I think the oldest book still on my TBR. I think I hauled it in 2021 at least. So yeah, they need to be read, but also I don't want to reread the first book in order to continue the series. So they're kind of stuck in limbo, but it's a series. It follows 2 different timelines. There's a prophecy about 2 different queens with powers. Then the next YA book I have is Fireborn by Rosario Amunda, and I got this from Cassidy for Christmas, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I did consider pretending that I hadn't opened this so I wouldn't have to put it in this video yet. There's dragons in it. I think there's a school setting. There was a rebellion. Now everything's supposed to be equal. The new system mightn't be as good as it's being led on to be. The rest is all adult fantasy, and I'm pretty sure I have these in alphabetical order, but if I don't judge me. So, The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. Really love the cover. Again, another story about prophecies, chosen one, maybe actually not the chosen one, and a really beautiful cover. Then we have Saint's Blood and Tyrant's Throne by Sebastian D. Castell. These are 3rd and 4th books in the Greatcoat series, and this follows 3 Greatcoats who used to be like the king's men. The king is dead, and they are now kind of seen as traitors. Next we have Malice by John Gwynne. Again, another book that has been on my TBR I think since 2021, so it needs to get read soon, please. But also, I don't have the audiobook and it's really chunky. Again, I think also another book that has a prophecy in it. Then we have Fool's Quest and Assassin's Fate by Robin Hobb. This is the 2nd and 3rd book in the Fitz and Fool trilogy, or the 15th and 16th book in the entire realm of the Elderlings. I don't think I have anything to say about these. Judge me for still not reading them, please. Next, we have The Shaman's Crossing, also by Robin Hobb. And this one, again, it was another Christmas present from Cassidy. Thank you, Cassidy. And again, I did consider pretending that I hadn't opened it. Now we have The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I really love this cover as well. And I think follows some sort of rebellion. Then I have Jade City, Jade War, and Jade Legacy, all by Fonda Lee. These are the 3 books of the Greenbone saga. It's very rare that I now buy an entire series before I read at least the first book. But with these ones, I got them a couple of years ago. I got the first 2, and then despite the fact I hadn't read either of the first 2 books, I still bought the 3rd one when it came out. So, as I said, I have kind of tried to stop buying entire series, but I'm just so sure that I'll love it, so I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Eyes of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch. Yes, this still has the tags on it. It was 3 for $12. That's why I bought it, because I have been on the fence about trying this one because of the fact that I'm not sure this series is ever going to be finished. Is it the first 3 books are out? And I think there's only supposed to be 4. I can't remember. Unclear if this is ever actually going to be finished, and so that's why I kind of haven't really tried to pick it up. Same with things like The Name of the Wind and like Game of Thrones and all of that stuff. Like, I have no interest in picking them up because of the fact that I'm not sure that's ever going to get completed. And it's kind of the same with this, but when I saw it for a good deal, and I have heard people say that you can kind of read the first one by itself, so I am going to give this a go. A Promise of Blood. There's no a promise, just Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. This is book 1 in the Powder Maid trilogy. Again, this is another gift that I got from Cassidy, but it wasn't this Christmas, it was last Christmas actually. Was it last Christmas? Yeah, it was last Christmas. Because this was supposed to be a backlist book club pick, but Mel, I think, read the entire thing. I think she gave it maybe 3 stars. Cassidy started it, was not vibing with it, and so I then started it, said, no, I'm pretty sure, just from, the first, 60 pages or something I read, I have the gift note in here somewhere as a bookmark. Unless I took it out. Did I take it out? No. No. So I got this far into it. So I'm on page 65. And I was like, from those first 65 pages, I would predict a 3-star. So we cancelled that live show because we just wanted a good book. I very rarely DNF books. I very rarely unhaul books. And if I do unhaul books, they are always books that I've read and no longer care about. Except one where I DNF'd, I suppose. The Bone Ships Wake. Is that the third book in the Bone Ships series? I unhauled that without finishing it. But I don't really do that any other time, so I do want to get back to this. I think I might want to try and finish it before the end of the year, and if that's the case, then this won't count. But because, I don't know, I think it's going to really annoy me just having, because it's still on my Goodreads currently reading, like just having a book sitting there. I can't do that. Next up is Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reid. This is a like atmospheric kind of gothic story, fairy tale retelling about sisters who are basically trapped in their house by their father. He's not good, and they sneak out to, you know, different parties in the city, and there might be like a monster in the city. And yeah, it's a very short book and I heard mixed things about it. Next is Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan, which is, so this is volume 1 of the Rhaeria Revelations. Okay, so again, this is another gift from Cassidy from last year. I really should sort that out. Again, this was another book that she was considering for backlist, but didn't end up happening. I'm a little more scared of this book because I have read like the first book in the prequel series, which is Age of Myth, and I didn't love that. I gave it a 3 stars, and that makes me a little scared, but I have heard really good things about this, so we'll see. I'll get to it eventually. Also just realized I completely went out of order there because I'm supposed to be going in alphabetical order, and Samantha Shannon comes before Michael J. Sullivan. So this is the second book in the Bone Season series, and to be 100% honest, I don't know why I bought this. Because like, I mean, I do want to continue the series, but the ebooks are on SCRIBD, and I don't think I like the series enough to like buy it all. So I don't know why I did that. Like, because I do, as I said, I do want to continue this series. I gave the first book, I think I originally gave it a low 4 stars, but I bumped it down to like a high 3 star because it just didn't fit in with the rest of the 4 stars. I've been really fussy the end of this year because like my 4 stars, they are so good. And so like my 3 stars are still like really decent books. And like my 4 stars, incredible. Like I've had such a good reading year. And so I gave the first book a really high 3 stars. I was really surprised by how much I liked it because I don't really read dystopians. And then I have The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. Again, another one where I'm like, should I have bought that? Because like I do want to read this book, but I've heard like really mixed things about the second and third book, mostly negative, but I have heard a couple of positive things. But I do want to read this. It follows the daughter of the emperor. He won't teach her this magic and refuses to name her the heir, so she goes out of her way to try and teach herself this magic to prove herself. And I've heard that there's an animal companion, which sounds good to me. After the Forest by Kel Woods. So this is an Illumicrate book, and this is it's not really a retelling, it's a continuation of Hansel and Gretel. So it takes place after, and basically Gretel starts hearing the witch's grimoire. She starts hearing the witch's grimoire calling to her, and she uses it to, I think, try and save her town. So that is the 21 books that are on my physical TBR, but I'm gonna make it worse for myself. So remember, the maximum I wanted on my physical TBR at the end of this year was 15. So we're at 21, which isn't too bad, but it's not Christmas yet. And I know that I'm getting 7 books because I asked for 7 books. So you can add that 7 on. So that brings us up to 28. And I have one more Illumicrate book coming before the end of the year. So that brings us up to 29. Of course, I am planning on reading a couple more of these before the end of the year. I think one of the books I'm getting for Christmas, obviously I don't want to spoil my end of year haul, but like one of them is Heartstopper, so I'm going to read that straight away. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.